Hey everybody, today we're here to do part 2 of my Summer TBR recommendations. Today we're here to do science fiction and fantasy. So I hope you're ready for your Summer TBR to explode, because I have a stack of books to tell you all about. So let's get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course I hope you're reading an amazing book, or 2 or 3. I cannot complain. Life is crazy, life is busy, life is everything that you expect, but I am getting through it, and overall, I'm in a good space. I've been reading some really great books and have a lot to share, and it has been fantastic. So I'm just really happy to be here talking books with y'all today. And I started this series, I've done one video already, in a Summer TBR recommendation series. The first video I did was thrillers, and it got really great reviews, lots of comments, people were super excited about it. So, and a lot of people asked me to continue going, and then my friend Sue asked me if I could do science fiction and fantasy. And I adore Sue. She is fantastic. So I am here to do science fiction and fantasy. So get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, I highly, highly recommend ordering a book or 2 or 3 from your local independent bookstore. And or if you're a library user, get your library to get you a copy. Use that Libby app. However you get your books, get these to you as soon as possible. So we're going to start with the books that I have read already, and then we'll go into the books that I haven't read that are on my TBR. So let's kick it off. The first book is science fiction that I want to tell you about, and that's In the Quick by Kate Hope Day. This is out now from Random House. This is sort of like, how to explain it? It's like almost a coming of age space adventure, and the main character, her name is June. We meet her when she's about 12 years old. Her uncle has passed away, and he was a really big engineer in the world of aerospace, and he invented this engine that went into this ship that went on a very long journey and has since disappeared, and they're starting to blame the reason that the ship disappeared on the engines that June's uncle made. She doesn't believe it. She doesn't buy it. She's can be a big handful. So she winds up getting put into school to become an astronaut at an early age, and she has to go through the school. She's not as caught up as everybody else, but she has to create friendships, she has to learn, and she's smart as a whip, and she winds up running into a lot of the students that worked with her uncle, and their relationships change as she becomes more and more important. She winds up going on a space adventure up into different planets as she sort of continues her career, but always in the back of her mind is this idea of fixing this problem that could have caused this spaceship that she really believes is still out there, fixing it so that she can get there and she can help those people return home. And that is what the book's about. It takes some turns, takes some twists. It's sort of like a space age Top Gun in a lot of ways, like go through the school, become the pilot, come do your thing, do what you want to do. I hope that's a good selling point. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a fantastic read. It's a great read for by the pool, and you'll really fly through it. So that's In the Quick by Kate Hope Day, out now from Random House. Okay. Now, this next book, I always struggle a little bit to summarize epic fantasy with a lot going on in it, but I'm going to do my best because The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke is the start of a new fantasy series, and it is absolutely fantastic. So we have 2 main characters in this book. We have Tareen, who is a young soldier who was taken away from her family and her home when she was about 5 years old, and she was sort of indoctrinated into the military for the major political force of the area. And she and her military unit are returning to the land that she came from. Now, they are not treated well within the military. They are thought very poorly of because they're not part of sort of the dominant race, the dominant community. And she gets home and she doesn't know what happened to her family, and immediately someone recognizes her. The other main character is Luca. She is the princess. supposed to be queen. But there's some trepidation about that because her father died suddenly. Her uncle is sort of taken over, and she has come because this land that Shireen is from is in sort of a political upheaval, and she's coming to sort of quell that. Luca wants to show that she is the type of leader that can lead, and she wants to be queen, and this is going to be the feather in that hat. And then things go crazily awry for both of them. There's a little bit of magic. There's a lot of political intrigue, a lot of military intrigue. There's queer representation. There's a lot about relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. But in the really at the heart of this book is Shireen and Luca, and they are both fascinating, complicated, multi-layered women who really just make you either cheer or get really mad at them because they make some really silly decisions. But overall, it's a fantastic start to a new fantasy series. So that's The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, out from Orbit. You can get your hands on it right now. I hope I did an okay job explaining that one. Now I'm going to recommend actually 2 graphic novels. Now, they're actually graphic novels that are of really famous science fiction books, but I'm doing a little bit of difference here because you may have read them as novels, but maybe haven't seen these fantastic graphic novels that are out there. The first one is this rendering of Kindred by Octavia Butler. Now, Octavia Butler's Kindred, if you have not read it, is fantastic. It's a story of a woman in the 70s who one day her and her boyfriend move into this new apartment, and she touches the wall, and all of a sudden she is time traveled back to the antebellum South, and she saves the life of a little boy. And then she sort of does these weird popping back and forth between her real life, which is the 70s, and the slavery South. And every time she goes there, it's usually in response to someone being in danger. Now, what Damian Duffy and John Jennings have done here is they have turned that book, which is fantastic, into the most beautiful graphic novel. Look at how amazing this art is. It is so good. And they do an amazing job of catching the story as well. And it is just so very good. So that's Kindred by Octavia Butler. Read the book if you haven't. Get the graphic novel if that's more your speed. This is out from Abrams Comic Arts. And again, it's by Damian Duffy and John Jennings, based upon Octavia Butler's Kindred. Now, they did another one too that is also beautiful, and that's Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Also a fantastic novel, but Damian Duffy and John Jennings did a version of this as well. Again, same amazing art, so good. Now in this book we have a young girl who is, we sort of have a dystopian sort of future where people are locked within their communities. Things have gone sort of awry. There's a lot of danger in the world. We have a young girl who sort of created a religion herself, in and of herself. And she, because of something that happens to the community she lives in, she and a group of people start traveling, hoping to find safety. But as she's doing that, she's also sort of indoctrinating those with her into her new religion. This book is fantastic. It's so interesting. It's very multi-layered. It has that sort of dystopian action adventure, but it also has this religious subtext that is very interesting and very powerful. Octavia Butler's book is amazing, and the Damian Duffy and John Jennings do it complete justice here. So again, this is also out from Abrams Comic Arts, and I highly recommend. So you know how I said I was recommending more than 6? Because I'm technically recommending the novels too, if you haven't read them, but the graphic novels are also fantastic. Now we're going to do the stack of books that I haven't read. I'm actually partway into one of these, and that's this one. A Master of Djinn by P. Djeli Clarke, out from Tor. I am a huge fan of Clarke's work. I've read all of the novellas that they put out through Tor, and this is their latest novel. And this is the story of Fatma. She is an investigator So basically what's happened, we're in Cairo in the early 1900s. Something had happened before this where a man had come into Cairo, created this opening, and all of this magic had entered the city. And then he disappeared. And part of that magic was Djinn, these demons, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a man appears claiming to be this sorcerer who did all of this. And things are happening, and Fatma has to do the investigation. She is a investigator for, I cannot remember the ministry. It's got a very clever name, and I apologize, I'm totally blanking on it, but whatever. She's going to be fantastic. I loved her sort of appearing in the other books that I have read by Clark, and I am really excited. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm about, 60 pages into it. Really love it, love his work. And this is actually out now. You can get your hands on it as we speak. I just need to make a trip to the bookstore to get my copy. Okay, now it's time for 3 novellas. Also, 2 of them from Tor, 1 of them from Nightfire. Hard Reboot by Django Wexler is out. I think this is out now or coming out very, very soon. This is a finished copy, so I normally get finished copies when they're very soon to be out or out. And this is exactly as it seems. We're back on Earth. Things are bad, but there are these monster robots that fight with humans in them. And it just, Cass, she's the main character. She's like an academic, and she winds up getting tricked into sort of betting on these robots, and it sort of just spirals out of control for her. But as she sort of becomes part of this world with these monster robots fighting each other, she sort of starts to realize the political intrigue that is Earth now. And she's there to study it, so she's very fascinated, but also just sort of wants to go back to her academic lifestyle. So that's Hard Reboot by Django Wexler. This is out from Tor. I think you can get your hands on this one right now. Okay. The next one doesn't come out until August, which is really not that far away because let's be honest, 2021 is flying by. And this is In the Watchful City by S. Quiyu, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Liu. This one sounds fantastic and so different than anything I've read. So we are in the city of Aura, and the city uses something called the Gleaming as a tool to keep the people that live in the city safe. So it has a way of watching everything, right? We have Anima, who is a sort of enhanced person, an extrasensory human who uses the Gleaming to take care of everybody, okay? And then one day this man arrives to the city, and he has like this collection of objects from around the world. And as he sort of unveils them throughout the city, things start to happen. And Anima has to sort of decide, is the Gleaming, is it having the Gleaming and what it can do, is it useful if it cannot protect the people inside the city? I hope that sounds like it. Yeah, I hope that was clear, but I am super excited about this book. So that's In the Watchful City, What Good is a City If It Can't Protect Its People by S. Quiyu Liu, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And this is out in August from Tor. You can get your hands on it. It comes out at the very end, August 31st. So you can get your hands on it and really enjoy it. Another book that is coming out in October. So this is a very late summer read, but I have to tell you all about it because, one, it sounds creepy as heck. It sounds great to have on your TBR if you're looking for things for Halloween. And I just want to talk about it because this book, crazy, right? So this is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw, Khaw, and this is out from Nightfire. And so this is about a hotel. So many scary things happen in hotels. Why do we ever go to these houses, these hotels? And it's like this mansion hotel that you can rent, and it has this horrible, horrible history, but people rent it if they're very daring to have their weddings. So we have this group of people that arrive there to have a wedding, and as sort of all of their history and secrets start to come out, the house also has some secrets that want to come out. So I love this. It says, lurking in the shadows is the ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart, and she gets lonely down there in the dark. I believe this is based on Japanese folklore, and I believe it has a lot of its base there in that history, and that cover scares the credola out of me, but I can't wait. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Kah, out from Nightfire. It doesn't come out till October. I know it's a little bit of a cheat, but I had to tell you about it. Get your order in right now. Okay, last but not least is one of the books that I'm so excited to read this summer. This is going to be my fantasy read of the summer, and that is Son of the Storm by Sui Davies Okenboa. Is that how you say that? Okenboa. And this is out from Orbit, and this is coming out. Actually, this is out. I saw it in the bookstore. You can get your hands on this as we speak. And I will tell you right now, I am obsessed with this cover. Obsessed. But this is also the one where I have the hardest time summarizing it, so you get a little bit of a read. I'm sorry. In the city of Bassa, Donso is a clever scholar on the cusp of achieving greatness, only he doesn't want it. Instead, he prefers to chase forbidden stories about what lies outside the city walls. The Bassi elite claim there is nothing of interest. The city's immigrants are sworn to secrecy. But when Donzo stumbles across a warrior-wielding magic that shouldn't exist, he's put on a collision course with Bassa's darkest secrets. Drawn into the city's hidden history, he sets out on a journey beyond its borders, and the chaos left in the wake of his discovery threatens to destroy an empire. Y'all, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. So again, that's Son of the Storm by Sui Davies Okenboa, and this is out from Orbit. You can get your hands on it now. I got that all real close just because I'm obsessed with that main character's stare. So good. So I am really excited about this one, and you can get your hands on it now. I just saw it at Bookshop Santa Cruz the other day. I know you can get it. I'm going to try to put these in a stack, not drop them on myself, which just happened, so you're not going to get to see a stack. Hey, it's live. I don't edit. There you go. As always, if you're a return subscriber, I thank you so very, very much. I appreciate every time you watch and every comment you leave. If you are a new subscriber, I hope you stay around. I hope you click the buttons and you like what I have to talk about. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.